sitting here with Jameer of Black Coffee, which is on BET Digital, and we're going to talk about, dating and money, but I know it gets a little crazy. But we're going to talk about it from a financial literacy perspective and, how it goes in the beginning and trying to move forward. And, most importantly, I really just wanted to get the male perspective because, we think about things differently, let's just say that.
Well, hopefully I won't let you down.
I feel like a lot of guys feel like, us women are out to get them, or we expect them to do everything financially. And then, first off, I just want to know, what are your thoughts on like money and dating as it pertains to relationships early on in the dating phase, and then, as things change?
I think in the dating phase, I think it's fair game. I do a lot of the paying initially. Like first dates, I think are an opportune time for a guy to pay. But I also think that if we were going out and you initiated it, like you were like, hey, I want to take you X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to, in my opinion, be expected to pay because you had the bride idea. You had bride ideas. I didn't make this up, and you know what I'm saying? So if you come to me and you go, hey, I want to take you out, like, not that you should be obligated to pay, but I think you should be prepared to pay.
Right.
I think the person who initiates it should be prepared to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's valid. I feel like most guys feel that way.
Yeah.
And if I invite a guy out, I am gonna pay.
That's fine.
But if he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it, then I'm not gonna say no
right.
either. Okay.
But at least do the casual, you know what I'm saying?
Reach
for something.
Right.
Don't not reach for nothing. Reach for something.
Yeah.
So I can at least go, all right, now I got it.
Right. I always like to bring up how I had one situation where a guy hit me up. He's like, oh, you want to get a quick bite to eat? We only went on one date. So then at the end of the date.
So this did not go well.
This is the second date.
Okay.
At the end of the day, he asked me to split the bill. So I'm just like, you asked me to come out of my house at 9 o'clock. Like, why are you asking me to split this? So do you feel like carrying the weight of a relationship once it gets to a certain point should fall on the man? Like, is it gender-based, or do you feel like, it should go both ways?
Okay. I don't think we're in 2019.
Right.
I don't think that something like that should be gender-based, right? Because statistically, black women are making more than black men around in 2019 as far as like jobs and financial and business opportunities.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are statistically across the board doing better. But even then, I wouldn't even put the financial responsibility on anybody, right? Like, if I had a job making way more money than you, I'm not gonna expect you, like, we gonna have. No. That's not what it is.
Right.
And vice versa. Like, I think it has to be give and take. So if
Right.
I make more money than you and I'm able to financially, comfortably provide for both of us, that's fine. And vice versa. If you did, fine. But I can tell you that when you came home, it's gonna be spotless.
Yeah.
There's gonna be food cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, I think, just put like, hey, you gotta pay for everything. And to me, that's bullshit, because if I don't have it like that to break my pockets, I think it's selfish. And if we're in a relationship, I think it should be split in a way that makes sense. So even if I take care of everything financially, when I come home, like, it has to be give and take. Can't be clothes lying on, because it's like, you're not working, what are you doing then?
Yeah, if the house isn't together.
If the house isn't together, and vice versa. Like, I would not expect you to stay with me if you were working, taking care of all the bills, groceries and everything, and when you left and came back, I was in the same spot.
Right.
No dishes, no food.
Nothing got done. Yeah.
There needs to be a give and take in some way, shape, or form.
So if you're not, so if she's not helping you out financially, she needs to take care of the home front. And that's that.
And vice versa.
Right.
Or like, there needs to be an equal bringing of something to the table.
Right.
Now, everybody, because you might not live with your significant other, which is fine. But if we're going out all the time, and you do have a job and I'm paying for everything and we're in a relationship, I don't think it's smart for me to pay for everything. Like, if we together for like 6 months, that shit is over.
Right.
Like, I like you, but now we gonna split some shit sometimes.
Right.
Like, sometimes you're gonna get it, sometimes I'm gonna get it. Most of the times, I got you. But all of the time should not be expected because of gender.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you feel like whoever you do date or consider taking seriously, do you feel like she needs to make a certain amount of money in terms of, you know, looking at your future with her? Do you feel like she needs to bring in a certain income?
Look, I don't even really care about that. I think as long as you're out there, you're ambitious, you're doing something that you want to do, and we're both trying to accomplish our goals and we strive for something, the money will come. So I'm not like hell bent on, hey, you better be making 6 figures by the time you. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, are you trying? Are you happy? Are you? And if you're not happy, what are you trying to do to
change
it?
You know what I'm saying? Right.
So I care about that way more than I do about how much you make. It doesn't matter to me necessarily.
Right.
But as long as the bill's covered,
right,
and we straight.
Yeah.
Cable still come on. We still good. Netflix still good.
Right.
All right. Then we straight.
It's more about the relationship and you know the structure between the two of you than the finances and who's bringing in what. As long as
don't get fucked up. You have good credit.
Oh, well, yeah. I
Pay
mean,
your bills.
Because how we gonna get a house?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking long term instead of just short term as far as like, you gotta have this. Because I don't have this.
Right.
Yet,
we still all getting it together.
We're still trying to hustle.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
What would you think is the best advice for a pair who is trying to work something like this out? Who like wants to move forward, they both trying to get their shit together, and money is sometimes an issue or a conversation. Like, what advice would you give them?
Well, you know, and look, I'm no expert.
Right.
You know, I'm no whoever the fuck the kids are listening to. I would just say, in a situation like that, if you are looking to move forward and you want to move forward together, like occupying the space, you joint accounts, you want a house together, like, it's okay to split shit.
Right. Because
what you're doing is preparing for the long haul. You're not just shortchanging it. So if there's like dates, if I'm courting you and I consistently ask you to go out, and it's like, I don't mind paying because I consistently want your time and your efforts. So all you got to do is show up. I got you. You know, at least for the first 5-6 days.
Right.
But now that we're in a relationship, it's 6 months, 7 months go by, and we're striving to become partners for real, and we're looking at, you know, I know 6 months is a little drastic, but, you know, a year, whatever. You're looking to move in together, you're looking to own something together. Y'all need to be splitting shit.
Right.
Because if we make around the same, me paying for everything is counterproductive.
Right. Right.
Because I'm paying for everything, but how we gonna get this house on your salary?
Right.
So we need to be putting money together. We need to be putting money away together.
Right.
You know, equally.
Yeah.
And split some shit.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
I just feel like this conversation was important to have, especially with a male, because, you know, I have friends who, I don't want to say get a lot of things from guys, but they get a lot of things from guys and they're not afraid to ask. And then I have friends who are like, you know, why would you? Me personally, I can't even find it in myself to be like, hey, oh, you want to take me on a date? Send me an Uber. But like, you know, I felt like it was just, I mean, it's just like, girl, get yourself there.
Okay? And if you can't get there on the subway, I don't know.
We don't need to go out.
Right. I mean, if I drive, I might scoop you.
Right, and that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm not sitting, are you kidding me? I'm not sending you an Uber on date 10.
Yeah.
There's 10 Ubers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hell
they
no.
add up.
Yeah.
They definitely add up. What do you think are, like, I'd say 5 things from your end or your perspective that, like, people could do as a couple to look out for each other's pockets? And if you don't have 5, that's fine, but just some.
I'm gonna try to think of some tips. All right, so I would definitely say if you are a couple, now not courting, y'all are together, it's established, you know, y'all done gave up each other's hoes, like that's fine, like y'all are a couple.
Right.
I would say it's not a crime to split things because you're looking forward to the future. 2, I think gender roles matter, but when it comes to finances, be smart about them. No one in a relationship, nobody should be killing themselves trying to provide for one person, as well as both people, if that makes sense.
It does.
So I should not just be trying to pay and provide for your happiness as well as the house if I don't have it like that.
Right.
I think a third thing is be honest.
Right.
You know, you might not be making 6 figures or 7 figures right now, and you might be trying to plan for something bigger amongst each other. So be honest. Let people know, like, if you get with them, and y'all together, let them know your financial goals, your financial plans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Check your credit score. You know what I'm saying?
And work on getting it up if you need to.
If you need to. It's nothing wrong with, like, you don't be ashamed or afraid of that.
Right.
So that's 3. 4, if you find somebody that's not understanding of that, it's all right to let them go.
Move on.
Yeah, I'm not breaking my fucking pockets for nobody now.
No, because you can't even, I mean, some of us can't even afford to break our pockets for our own
Come
selves.
on.
So,
and so
like,
now breaking them for you.
how am I supposed to carry you? Yeah.
Absolutely not. So that's 4. And I think the last one is, you know, money isn't everything, but it's important that we have, especially as Black and brown people, we have an understanding of what that means. So that might mean you're not going to Broadway every week,
right?
Because you're trying to be fiscally responsible,
right?
Tuck some of that money away,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't gotta, like, I shouldn't have to take you to the club and pop bottles every time.
No, not every time we hang out.
Yeah, diversify yourself. Yeah, birthdays, anniversary, holidays. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe pouring champagne on Flag Day.
No.
Because you want to go to the club. You go to the club and pop champagne on Flag Day.
By
but not me.
yourself.
By yourself,
And if
that's
you can't
fine.
afford to do it, then you got some things to work on.
Stay your ass. Can I add one more? Stay your ass home. Don't go out all the time. And people need to be inventive when they go out for dates. It don't mean spending money to the max all the time. You don't have to go to Burger and Lobster.
You don't. That's like
right?
a $20 plate.
Come on.
It's small.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go out, you go to the park, you enjoy each other's company somewhere where it's affordable.
Right.
And it won't break your pockets.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh,
I mean, that was like clear and concise. You immediately thought them up.
Hey.
And they made a lot of sense.
Look, I'm always in favor of staying your ass home.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I'd like to consider myself a homebody.
You stay
know?
your ass home?
I do, and especially since I had my daughter, like, it was just more of a reason to enjoy that space, you know? I have some scenarios.
Got you.
And I like to call this little part date or skate. It's like, I'm gonna list some things, and you know, you'll let me know if you'll continue to see that person or if you just done with them.
Got you.
All right, the first one is, she hooked up with a few of your friends before you knew her.
Gotcha.
And before you knew the two of you were dating.
Right.
You do really like her, and you find this out after a few dates. Do you continue to see her? Do you continue to date her, or do you know, skate and move on?
Like the homies said, basically.
She smashed the homies.
How many homies?
I'd say 2 or 3, you know?
In my inner circle?
Yes.
My inner circle?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know.
You didn't know until after a few dates, you know, because for whatever reason, you just didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so the homies didn't tell me. I'm factoring that everything. So there's 1 or 2 dates. I like her. We go out. You know, I wouldn't. All right, so maybe if I was like 19, I'd have like skated.
Right.
I think, you know, what I know now is like you try to look at the quality of the woman instead of just automatically like, oh no,
judging her on her past.
She fucked my mans. I wouldn't necessarily skate.
Right.
I think it's situational, and I think I would have to actually be in that to like really feel. But like, I would think about it.
Right.
So I wouldn't like, oh, you put my.
Because I feel like if you do stay, it seems like it might be something that may always be in the back of your mind.
Right.
So
if you're not, and if also you're not confident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be confident to know that, like, all right, yeah, those are my boys. But I'm bringing different things to the table.
I also think it depends on how long ago it was too.
Right.
You know.
So now if it was Tuesday,
I mean clearly that's the issue.
I might have to breathe.
You gotta move on.
Yeah. if it's on Tuesday, I'm out. But,
right.
You know,
if it was like 3 years ago.
And I didn't know you, like I might not be so stressed about that.
Right.
As my man, you should tell me.
Right.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't work, but is nice and cool, and you guys have great chemistry.
Right.
She doesn't work though.
Okay.
So are you gonna continue to date her?
Again, situational. You're an intern, but if you have a plan, there are goals that you want to attain and that you were structurally trying to manifest, I work with you. I wouldn't like write you off because you were an intern. That shit don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
But what does mean something to me is that there's an effective plan in action.
Right.
Right? Because like being unemployed is one thing, but having no goals is something completely different. That's what I want. That's Oh,
This is the
what you
cutoff.
want to do? Nothing.
Right.
It was nice.
It was
And
nice
then I'm
meeting
out.
you.
Yeah, but
so if she worked at the grocery store
Okay.
and her life was stagnant and you didn't see any real goals, then it might be a situation of it was nice to meet you.
it might, yeah, not because you work at the grocery store, but
Right.
you tell me, especially if you tell me like I want to do this and there's no plan of action.
Right.
I can't.
There's
I
not
can't
much
do
you could
that.
do with that.
I'm not gonna waste my time or energy or yours.
Yeah, keep it, funky from the start. You guys get along really well.
Right.
But you've gotten to the point of meeting her parents.
Right.
And you're really not too fond of them. Do you move forward?
Are they like racist or
Okay, so let's say they are.
like, cause
I mean, if they're racist, I feel like you're obviously gonna go in a different direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's some Dominicans who
Yeah.
don't like black people.
Yeah, that is
No,
true and
so-
unfortunate, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, man, cause
I mean, like,
Haiti and Dominican Republic, right there.
right
there.
There's nothing separating them.
I think if I didn't like their parents per se, it's not an automatic deal breaker. But if I start to see you exhibit a lot of those traits that your parents have, I might have to dip. Like,
Yeah.
one thing I don't like is closed-minded people. So
Right.
If I'm dating a woman and she's closed-minded or her family's closed-minded,
Right.
she takes on a lot of those traits.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
That's true, because I mean, it just seems like she's not trying to break the cycle.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So everything is perfect. She checks all the boxes, but she's terrible in bed.
Terrible in bed, like what though?
Like the sex is just whack,
Like,
she doesn't know what
uses
to
her teeth during
do.
head.
She uses her teeth during head. She wants to lay on her back the whole time.
Like a mannequin?
Like a mannequin.
Oh, that's weird.
No variety. She always wants to do it in the same place. And
Is she willing to learn? Or is she open to? All right, because I feel like you could be all right. So you could be trash,
right.
Or you could just be accustomed to one type of sex. Now, if we're having an open conversation, I'm like, I really like when you get on top,
Right.
and you're not even trying to waver. Like, I don't think I could do that. Like, case in point, if you dated somebody who didn't like to eat pussy, how would that make you feel? And you're somebody who is like, I'm about pleasing my partner.
It'll make me feel horrible.
Would you stay?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's like you can come in like, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do
Right.
that. And if we're trying to please each other, then that's a different story. But if you're just gonna be selfish, I gotta dip.
Yeah, what if she's just a prude, or maybe she's super religious and she even feels bad about having sex with you, but she's doing it because that's
Right.
you're her boyfriend.
Well, for me, I don't date super religious people anyway.
Okay, good.
But not because of sex, just
Right,
because
it's because it's a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I switch lanes wrong. You shouldn't. Well, God don't want this. Like, hey, I don't need that.
Right.
But you know who you dating,
dealing with.
You know what I'm saying? So you should already kind of be paying attention to some of the red flags that come up.
Right.
So I can't say that I would dip, but again, if you're closed-minded, I'm a dip.
Right.
regardless.
Right.
Hey, camera. Yo, make sure y'all watch Black Coffee. It's with myself, Gia Peppers, who is also an alumni at Hot 97, and Mark Lamont Hill. We're on every weekday at 10 a.m. on YouTube and Facebook. It's on BT's YouTube and Facebook. So make sure y'all check that out. Yeah, and the show is growing, so tune in and type.
Okay, that's
Thank
it.
you.